right, guys. This is Sheridan with Shop Black Dallas and Million Dollar Strategist, and I am here with Bright Girl Media, and I want her to introduce herself and explain to you guys what her platform is, her business is, and just everything about her.
Hi, so I am Chanel Yarber, the CEO, owner, marketing consultant, whatever you decide that you want to call me, for Bright Girl Media, which is a digital marketing agency. And I specialize in working primarily with small businesses on their social media, their email marketing, web development, SEO, pay-per-click, anything to do with digital marketing, I pretty much touch it. And I love serving small business owners in that way. And I've been doing this now for about 8 years. It'll be 8 years in June, actually.
Okay. What gave you just this idea that, hey, you know what, I want to get into this, especially with media and marketing? That's one of the things I could tell you right now I'm struggling with. So what just gave you that niche to say, hey, this is what I'm going into?
Yeah, so initially I went to school for media. I thought I was going to be a broadcast journalist. And then I transitioned into more so marketing when I was in grad school. And things were kind of shifting toward digital, and I noticed how things were moving. You know, the YouTubes were coming out, and this was during the time of like MySpace and stuff like that. Yeah, and so I had some friends actually who were artists. They were musical artists, and they were trying to promote themselves, trying to get themselves out there. And I started just kind of playing around with social media as it was back then with like Facebook and MySpace and stuff. This was when on Facebook you had to have a college email address to get on it. So I'm kind of dating myself because some of y'all probably like, I've been on Facebook forever. No, you ain't been on Facebook forever. So long story short, I started, helping them get some PR and marketing out there, getting some attention on their music and stuff like that. And it just kind of snowballed. So I've been doing this for quite some time.
Right. Look, they don't know nothing about having that email address to get on Facebook.
Yeah.
I was for sure in that having to do that as well. So what is your mission at the outset of starting your business? Outside of your friends, what is just your whole mission now, since everything has evolved with technology as well?
Yeah, so right now, I'm just gonna speak to like today. I can't speak to tomorrow because tomorrow may be something completely different. We see that within 2 months, our lives have been completely up in. Right now, my focus really is helping those small businesses to transition and to ramp up their online presence, because many people have become comfortable with, people being able to come in and out of their shops, communicating with people face to face, things like that. But we noticed that we went into a complete, shift. And those things, the ways that we traditionally would build our business weren't available. So just making sure that people's websites are up, they're optimized. If they're hosting any live events that would have been, in person, shifting those things to virtual events, things like that. That's my mission, is so that we don't end up in a situation where we become obsolete because we didn't make the shift.
That is something that is true. I can say for myself, having a brick and mortar business, for me, it was a hard shift because I'm so used to the traffic, the foot traffic. I'm so used to being in person with, the clients and the people that I was doing business with. So to have to shift everything to the internet and, doing socially, it's like, wait, what? I feel prehistoric almost. Like, I don't, this is a hard shift. And especially during the pandemic, a lot of people are just, unsure and uncertain of what's next, because think about the baby boomers, computers, technology.
I live too. So I know every other day it's like, how does this work? How does it? I'm like, oh Lord.
Right. I still have my uncle to help you.
I'm in the generation that remembers life before computers and after computers. So I'm like kind of in the middle. Whereas some younger people than me, they they don't even know what it looks like to not have a computer or a cell phone and things like that. So
Right.
I get it, you know,
right.
But we do, and I feel like time is speeding up. It's so weird. I feel like time is speeding up.
Yes.
And so you have to like catch on to things really quickly, because what is today may not be tomorrow, and that's just the life that we're living in right now.
And we're seeing that evident. I mean, clear. So, what services do you provide outside of just not outside? Let me just say this: what services do you provide?
So I do social media marketing and management for my clients. So full service. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I don't know how to, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing on Facebook, or Instagram it makes no sense to me, or whatever.
Right.
They come to me and I map out a strategy for them, do all their graphics and video editing and all of that good stuff, and post for them on social media. So that's what my social media packages look like. I also build websites, custom WordPress websites, and optimize them to be found on Google, Bing, and any other search engines that may be out there. Most people aren't using Yahoo nowadays, but maybe somebody is. I don't know.
Right.
So I do that, and also help them with online advertising. So whether it's Facebook ads or showing up on Google ads, and different, platforms like that, I do that type of stuff.
Let me ask this. For one, I don't really understand SEO, so you can kind of expound on that. Also, another thing, what other platforms should we be on to market ourselves and to get those, clients or those people that we want to service we want to service? What kind of platform should we be using?
Okay, so you asked two questions. The first one was about SEO. You just missed. So in April, I did a whole full month of
no clue.
I did a webinar for the month of April, and I was talking about SEO and why it's so important. Basically, what it does is it allows your website to be crawled by the search engines. So where the internet is called the World Wide Web for a reason. All of these sites are interconnected. And so in order for you to be able to be found on Google, you have to rank a certain way. You have to have the right keywords. You have to be connected to other sites that will help build pathways to your site. So it's just a number of different things, technically and, keyword wise, that you have to do and know, to make sure that a website is properly indexed on the search engine.
So that's that traffic. Okay, I'll be so lost, and I hear people talk about SEOs, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I have no clue.
It's technical, and so I don't. You can study it and you can learn it, but if it's not your thing, it's something that you don't really. You may know some of the basics of it, but if it's not really your thing, I don't recommend trying to pick it up and learn it, because it can be technical.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
So yeah. And then your second question was, what platforms should people be on? So it really depends on who your audience is and who you're selling to. I'm not one of those people that recommend that you just be everywhere all the time, because you could be wasting your time being somewhere that doesn't give you a return on your investment. And so I advise my clients to spend their time and their money where it's going to give them a return. So it really depends. But one of my former interns and I, we're partnering up. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a webinar on TikTok, because a lot of people are moving to TikTok and a lot of people don't know how to use it. A lot of older people don't know how to use it. Younger people, they get on there and they make videos and they dance. But you can use it to actually market yourself and market your business and get content going. And so, if you're not on TikTok right now, I definitely suggest you checking it out.
Oh, that leads me to another question. Okay, so you see how, let's just say we went from MySpace, we went to, Facebook, and then we switched so many platforms. So what type of advice could you give to entrepreneurs to keep them up to date on how to switch and when it's time to switch? Because like you just said, now it's TikTok because we're stuck in the house. We can't do anything but create a dance video.
Yeah. So I have two pieces of advice. One is it's not hard to follow trends if you know where to look for them. So if you are trying to stay abreast of digital media, social media, it's a ton of blogs, very reputable blogs by marketers. My dog is out there making noise. It's a bunch of reputable blogs out there that you can follow. One of the ones that I follow is Social Media Examiner. I follow them all the time because they're like right on the minute when things are shifting and changing and they're giving you new ideas. And then the other one is find somebody who is like me. It doesn't have to be me, but find somebody like me to rely on and to consult with, because there's things that I see and that I know from my perspective that are completely different than what you know in your area of expertise. So I liken myself to like an accountant or an attorney. You wouldn't try to do your own books and your own taxes. You would go to jail. You wouldn't try to represent yourself in court. You would go to jail. So don't try to do your own marketing if it's not your thing. Find somebody and you focus on your thing.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Like I said, I'm in this place now and I'm like, shifting to the social media is, for me, it's like, I kind of dread it because it's so much that I'm not interested in. I'm just one of those type of people that just focus solely on business, and that's just it. So being able to take this shift and to learn from experts like you, like, look, how do I constantly stay evolving while I stay focused on what I like to do? So that makes a lot of sense. Now going into talking about the COVID and the pandemic, how have you been affected? How have you transitioned? How have you pivoted? I mean, what's going on during this time?
Yeah, that's a question that I've been getting hands down. Like every time I talk to anybody, they want to know, have you been affected? Have you been affected?
Right.
And I say yes and no. I did. One of my clients did, have to move on and do something different because her business was affected.
Right.
But over the grand scheme of things, honestly, these have been some of my better months that I've ever had in business. Seriously. So it's like, yeah, but no. So people realize right now, oh my God, my website sucks, or oh my God, I need to be, promoting, and I need to have stuff on Facebook. I didn't have Facebook ads before, and I don't even know how to do it. So people are scrambling so much that they're looking for people like me. So this is a prime opportunity. And then also people that were doing like live events, different nonprofits and other organizations and stuff, they've been coming to me to help them transition their live events to virtual events. So I've been doing a lot of that as well. So that's created a whole nother lane when you talk about pivoting. That I wasn't even anticipating in the beginning, but it just kind of happened, and it just kind of set me up to win in that way right now.
Right. You know what? A lot of the entrepreneurs that I have been interviewing, I have had each one of them say they have took an upturn during this pandemic. And I'm like, you know what? I really and truly believe that it was more so of a blessing for a lot of entrepreneurs than it was for those who had large, brick and mortar businesses, because again, they were so accustomed to the foot traffic that they weren't as focused on those who were, are getting used to Amazon. Everybody now with the, tap of their phone, I can order whatever I want off of Amazon. I can literally order furniture, whatever I want off of Amazon, and it shows us my house. So being able to transition and you get an upturn in your business, because a lot of people are like, wow, I'm really not doing business as I could have been doing. That's a good thing. And like I said, every entrepreneur is like, no, I'm winning. I'm like, well, dang, good. That's good.
It's been scary because I'm like, okay, all right. Anytime you're in business, you have to watch what you're doing, because you don't know if 1 month could be up, 1 month could be down. It's just how this works. It's not a 9 to 5 where you're getting a, regular paycheck. But it's been weird because as everybody has been talking about, COVID is affecting small businesses and da 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 da. And I'm hearing it on one end, but then on the other end, I'm like, but I'm kind of okay.
Yes.
So, it's just kind of having a balance. And I think that's just with anything. You have to balance what you hear with your faith and what you know.
Right.
So you just keep it moving.
Right.
So,
Right.
that's entrepreneurship.
Right. And I've been seeing people are kind of like, you know what, I can take my coat off and hang it up and I can get comfortable. Whereas, it was as if we had to almost perform a certain way. Now it's more so people are saying, I can be me now. I can do this the way I want to do this and actually succeed in it. So that's what I've been seeing and talking to a lot of the entrepreneurs. So let's get into, of course, I know you're an LLC. That's for sure.
Actually, I'm not.
Are you serious?
No, I have an S corp.
Okay, well, I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, I set my business up a little differently. I set my business up actually 8 years ago.
Let's go.
I did not go the LLC route. When I looked at like some different tax advantages, I looked at the S corp over the LLC. But I do. Let me say this: the business that you're talking to me about is an S corp. I do have another business that's an LLC.
So well, I want to talk about the S corp. You're the first. See, everybody else has LLCs, and I tell people I go off of LLCs because I know a lot of people know LLCs. And me, I know the S corp, I know the C corps, and I know all of those. However, it's like having a LLC is for me just to say, protect yourself before you get out there and not know what you're doing, and you learn first. Yeah. So by you being the first with the S corp, I want to hear. Come on, let's talk. So what makes
honestly, I technically I run my business like any other business. It's just it's just a different way that my taxes are done and filed, and a different level of accountability that I have.
Okay.
I built my business this way because eventually I want to just own it. I don't want to be running it. And I want to be able to have an issue stock. And I want to build my business like a corporation,
right?
As opposed to just like, a small business or me owning it. And I know that LLCs can grow as large as you grow them. But at the time when I was just looking at the two different structures, S corp really, it spoke to my vision of where I wanted to take it and how I wanted to protect myself, separate myself from the business like as completely as I possibly could, and just be able to operate the business as its own entity and me as my own entity.
Right.
But you can do that with the LLC as well, but it's just some little nuances that are clear about how you have to pay and file your taxes. That's all.
That's it. That's what I was about to say. It's just more so the tax deal, and the way you are saying that you can, when you have an S corp, build it out a little bit bigger and get from up under it, but yet still have ownership. As to LLC, it is, but it's slightly different. But you're right. The only difference is more so is the taxing. So how has that benefited you with the taxing?
Yeah, it's been fine for me. I haven't had any issues. So one entity would basically cause you to have to be taxed twice, once as an individual and once as the business, and then the other one is basically you pay taxes once and it flows through. So it's been fine for me. I haven't had any issues.
Okay. So what do you say to entrepreneurs? Do you say, hey, either one, do you say go get you an LLC, go get you an S corp, or do you just get protected, period?
I don't say either. And the reason I don't tell people what to do is because I'm not qualified to keep you out of jail if you do the wrong thing. So let me say this. I do advise people that if you want to build a business and you want to build it correctly, yes, you do want to file things right. You do want to have all the correct paperwork filed with the state and, federal with as far as your taxes and all of that stuff. Do it right. I see a lot of people that they have hustles. Okay, and they're calling them businesses. And when it comes time, just like we found, you know, a couple of weeks ago with this payroll protection, you know, and the loans and all that stuff that they've been giving out to small businesses, a lot of these other people that are not in our community are getting them because they've set things up right. They're not skirting the system. Well, they might be skirting the system in other ways, but they got paperwork. They got paperwork to back them skirting the system, even if they skirt the system. Okay. So yeah. But they have things set up properly. Whereas I see a lot of us, you know, we just hop out in traffic and want to make money, and we don't have the accountant, the attorney, the right people behind us to say and to steer us in a way that we can actually build it right with the right foundation, and that so that we can have something that's generational wealth that we can pass on to somebody. And so, yes, I do definitely say I don't advise being a sole proprietor. Anything could go wrong, and people sue you, you know, left and right nowadays.
Quick.
People looking for a lawsuit, right? Quick. And they'll take you under instead of taking your business under. You can take my business under all day. I don't want you to, but at least I could walk away and I can live to see another day and I can build another business. But I can't, you know, it's hard when it's you that's being taken under. So,
and it's true. I try. I find it for me, I'm trying to reel back and teach it. And I'm like, you know what, I've been so advanced in it and doing it for so long to where I'm like, you know what, okay, I have to teach it slow and get, hopefully they get it. But having an LLC, what I've learned is almost, let me just say it like this, is if you have a burner cell phone, and you're able to use this phone for whatever it needs to be used for. And then if something goes wrong, you're able to just take this burner phone and leave it and go get something else. Whereas if you had a phone that you had to have a contract on, you would have to have, you know, get out of this contract, pay out of this contract, you know, you possibly could get taken to court for the contract and the whole nine, and you're held liable. So to have an LLC, an S Corp, or just something stable and legit, you know, that's my fight. Like, listen, stop doing that. Because I have seen so often our counterparts are in those positions to where they are properly structured and they are doing shady business on the other side, but they have the paperwork and the paper trail to back them. And
and that's how they get funded. That's how they get funded over us. I mean, yes, there's, you know, there are lending practices that are racist that are in play, but by and large, like you said, they have a friend of a friend that can set them up, and they can set, you know, they can do their books or have, you know, all the paper trails set up, and then they go to the bank and they get these $10 million loans to open I don't know, anything that they want to do. And you look up and you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? Well, they knew how to play the game. And we have to, as a community, learn the game and play the game right. And we tend to sometimes, I don't know what we be doing sometimes. I just see I see a lot of crazy stuff, and I'm just like, you know, you could have avoided that, right? Like, you know that. But it's just trying to get up and trying to make the money so fast and trying to, you know, it's like, just, you know, take a step back, make a plan, get things in order, seek some counsel, and then move forward.
We play the wrong game. So that's one thing that I have noticed that we do outside of yeah, never mind. That's a different story. So what advice would you give an entrepreneur who's wanting to get into marketing, get into media? What advice would you give them to start up and get going?
If they want to get into my field? Study. One, know your craft. And I say that because it's a lot of people that they pick up a cell phone, they pick up a laptop, a tablet, whatever, and then all of a sudden they're a marketing guru. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's more behind. It's more behind the madness than posting, a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would definitely say study, know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, be able to really do your clients a service, and do justice by them.
Right.
One of the things, whether you are a marketer, a hair braider, or whatever, make sure that your customer service is intact, because you can hustle as long as you can and get more money, but you burn a lot of bridges along the way if you don't have just proper customer service and follow up and follow through and know how to serve people and serve them well.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say, that goes back to the studying though, but just study, just learn different things, learn different tactics, follow the trends, stay abreast of, what's going on in the marketing game, and partner up with people.
Right.
Partner up with people.
And that's where I am at. I see a lot of us too, we have an issue with asking for help. We have an issue with asking for help because we want to look, this certain way and feel like we got it all. We don't. We do not. I believe in barter and trade like none other. If you cannot afford it, okay, well, what is your service? What can you offer me that I can utilize in order for us to get together and make it do something better than what we're trying to do? So, I totally agree. But again, that's probably another story. Another conversation.
Yeah, it is.
In itself. Anything else that you want to tell the audience about Bright Girl Media?
Let's see. I told you about the TikTok course, so be following me on social media so that you can get a hold of that, because it's going to be bomb. We're going to teach you how to market on TikTok, how to get on there, make these videos, and have some fun while doing it.
Right.
And other than that, just follow me on social media. I post so much stuff. You'll find something and catch on to it, whatever, tickles your fancy. But other than that, I just want to encourage you all to if entrepreneurship and wealth building and all of that is something that's on your heart, get into it, know what you're doing, and do it right. And let's make a shift in our community, because the reason that we keep finding ourselves trying to protest and getting mad and, people killing us and all types of stuff is because we don't have collective power. And the only way that you're going to get power is money and politics. And you got to have money to play in politics. So we got to get our community on one accord. We got to support one another. We got to do business with one another. This whole idea of I don't do business with Black businesses because they aren't this. We got to get that out of our heads, and we really need to come together as a people and recognize that we are all we have, and do this thing right. That's my final say.
I agree. And as I've been doing these interviews, I've been gaining wisdom. Let me say that. I have been gaining so much wisdom from Black entrepreneurs. And we believe that because we're not in large companies and wearing suits and we're not of other skin colors, that Black entrepreneurs aren't making any moves. The ones I have been interviewing, I'm like, wait, you know how to do all of that?
Yeah. I don't know why we discount each other. We built this place. We built America.
Thank you.
Why would you feel any less than? And the reason that people are out here trying to kill you or keep you down is because they see your power. You got to see it yourself.
Got to see it yourself. Well, on that note, how can we find you outside of Instagram? Where else can we find you too?
I am everywhere. I'm everywhere at Bright Girl Media. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. And then my website is brightgirl.media.
We're going to find you on TikTok.
And you know what? I'm telling you, my intern, or she's not an intern with me anymore. She gonna get me on TikTok too. I'll be on there in a minute. Y'all gonna be like, what is she doing? Don't worry about it. I'm on TikTok. All right.
See you doing one of the dances.
I might be.
Well, I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. And Absolutely. It is an honor. So I just want to let everybody know, Shop Black Dallas and $1 Million Strategist, go find her. Go find her. You can't do it on your own, because I'm about to inbox her, because I know I am tired of trying to figure it out and do it on my own. But I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a good day.
You too. You too.